Today we'll talk about inventory stuff. Backpacks, ammo boxes, how to use ammo boxes, and some other things. Just in case, I'll leave timecodes in description. Alongside with main inventory, which has 45 slots, you can also put backpack. For now we have only 4 of them, which have different inventory capacity and different weight. But there's another thing which must be considered, slots efficiency, which is basically how much weight you pay for getting one slot. For example, if we take two smallest backpacks and compare them to heaviest backpacks, we can see that we pay almost double the amount of weight for one slot. So bigger backpack doesn't mean that it's better. Choosing which backpack you should use might depend on your preference, but actually I would say that it depends more like on weapon or maybe even class that you're gonna use. For example, if you're using sniper, main inventory will be enough for all ammo, and some zip-on backpack with some meds will be pretty enough. You don't need too much stuff when you are far away. Or if you want to steal some compound, you won't need many slots as well, since you won't spend too much ammo. Having less weight, which won't affect your movement speed too much, will make your gameplay easier and it might even save your life in some situations. Having more speed is much better than having tons of items which you might not even use. So which backpacks you should use? For snipers or just for those who will cover from a long distance, I would recommend zip-on panel backpack. Even though snipers don't need to move too much, there is no point of having items that you won't even use. But on the other hand, if you will need to change your position or hide behind some cover, it will be much easier with faster speed. Daypack and 3-day patrol backpack I would recommend for general use. For riflemen and those who mostly will fight on short-medium distances. Which one exactly you should use depends on location. Talking about attack too, I would say that it's pretty situational. In my experience, I never needed such big inventory. So it might be useful for some medics, machine gunners, or maybe people who would like shoot at everything without thinking that their ammo will run out. But still, there might be exceptions. Everything depends on situation and what you're planning to do. Vehicles also have inventories. So if you are not sure that you'll have enough items in character inventory, you can take additional stuff with yourself in this way. Inventory size of all vehicles you can see on screenshot. You can also use two backpacks in the same time, which definitely not was intentional thing done by developers, but still. So in this way you can use zip-on backpack and any other of 3 backpacks. So all you have to do is to put backpack inside of vehicle inventory and then respawn with vest with zip-on backpack. And then you just need to take backpack from vehicle. To use grenades and other things which you can throw, you need to put them in utility slots. You have only 3 slots, and you don't need a belt to have access to them. You can carry 2 primary weapons. I think many of you know about it, but still. You need to spawn with one primary, drop it on the ground, or put it inside of vehicle inventory, then you spawn with other primary and take primary which you dropped. And even though it seems like a cool feature, in fact it's not useful as you might think. So for example, you took assault rifle and shotgun. And since shotgun kills faster, at least if we are talking about enemies with more than 100 HP, it might save some HP for you. But what's the point of that when instead of this shotgun, which not only takes almost half of your inventory but also weighs about 4 kilograms, you could take just more meds. So it's exactly more like gameplay feature than useful feature. As long as you play with weapon which feels pretty good in all situations, there won't be need for second weapon. The only case which comes to my mind when it will be useful than in any other case is when you are playing with sniper rifle, alone, or maybe in small group. In such cases when you shoot or maybe even have to do something on short-medium distances. So carrying some assault rifle might be useful in this case. But still, if you want to carry second primary with yourself, you can check on the screenshot how many slots each weapon takes. Which attachments you have on weapon doesn't affect how many slots it takes in your inventory. Now we are moving to ammo boxes. First of all, what's the advantages of using them? In all cases, they can save big amount of weight. And in some cases, you can even carry more ammo with yourself, as with 5.56 for example. But there's one exception about the K103, which I mentioned in one of my videos. AK-103 ammo boxes take more slots than magazines, but still they'll save some weight for you. But actually after update 8.0 we have the same situation with M249. So in such case you need to find balance between ammo reserve and weight. The thing about ammo boxes is that carrying few mags and filling other inventory space with them will be much better choice than carrying tons of mags and having big overweight. Moreover, when you can load empty mags right during reload. I would recommend to carry 5 mags if it's 30 bullets mag, and 3 or 4 mags if it's extended mag. And in case if you are going to bunker, you can take 1 or 2 mags additionally, since it's more intense than raiding normal compound. Personally, I take only 3 mags with myself and 2 additional mags if it's bunker. In case of sniper rifles and DMRs, 2 or 3 mags will be pretty enough. And also if you know how to use ammo boxes using extended mags like for AR-15 platform, basically won't have any disadvantage, because losing 15 or 30 bullets will be pretty much nothing. So how to use ammo boxes? There are only 3 types of ammo boxes in terms of their size and how to use them. 1x1, 2x1 and 2x2. In case of 101 you just need to take ammo box and move it over the mag in any slot. In case of 2x1 in vertical way, you need to move ammo box over any slot of magazine, but with left slot of ammo box. If ammo box will be in vertical way or magazine in horizontal way, you just need to move ammo box over the magazine. For 2x2 we have the same situation. You probably had such case that after reload one of your mags magically disappears. And the reason of that is because you have full inventory. Or to be more exactly, because of the way reload works. So after you press reload button, your character puts magazine inside of inventory and then takes new mag. And if you have full inventory, it just disappears. So there are two ways how you can deal with it. First is that you can reload only when your mag will be empty or almost empty. And in the second way, you can drop some magazine, for example, on the ground before reloading. After reloading, you can take it back. And it might sound complicated that you have to do it every time, but actually it's not that bad. Once you empty ammo box or maybe ammo boxes, you can drop them on the ground and now you don't have to do this again. In this way, your inventory will be efficient at its maximum. And the last thing about inventory. How much weight you should have. For stealth, I would say not more than 16 kilograms. For general use, from 17 to 19 kilograms. In this way, you won't have big speed penalty and you will be able to reach maximum speed pretty fast. But again, it also might depend on situation. So that's all for today. If you found this video useful, leave a like and some comment, it helps out with video promotion. Join my server in Discord with builds, tier lists and useful information. If you really like my content, you can support me on Boosty, so I'll be more motivated to make videos, and see you next time.